When I was 22 years old, I performed my very first lifeguard rescue. Here's the story of how that happened. My first rescue was a good few years ago. It's when I was covering a shift over in a pool that I don't normally work at. Now this is quite a large swimming pool, about 10 lanes wide, so it's quite a big pool. Needed 2 lifeguard positions, one on one side and one on the other side. I performed the rescue when I was changing positions from one lifeguard position to the other. It was when I was patrolling around the pool to get round to the other side. As you're changing positions, it's always important to keep scanning your area, keep scanning the pool, despite you not being physically in charge of one designated zone. Now there was a boy who was in with 2 carers who had additional needs, and as I was walking around the positions, I noticed the boy having a seizure. In the water, seizures can be very dangerous, as for obvious reasons, but occasionally can swallow water as well, might lead to a drowning situation if not dealt with quickly. As I noticed that, I've kicked my shoes off, because I was covering the pool and I didn't have another change with me. I blew 3 whistle blasts of my whistle. That alerted my lifeguard team to know them that a lifeguard was going into the water to perform a rescue. This allowed the lifeguard team to then hit the code 1 alarm, which set off the alarm through the whole building to alert the building that there was a scene happening in the pool hall. As I swam up to the casualty, who was in with his 2 carers, the carers had already done the right thing and got the boy supported with his head out the water with their arms under his shoulders. One was at the shoulders and one was at his legs, keeping him supported, so his whole body was flat on top of the water as he was having the seizure. As I approached, I changed positions with the carer who was holding the boy with his hips and his legs, and I supported his body, as that other carer had to come out the pool to go and get some medication that the boy required when he was having a seizure. After a good few minutes, the carer arrived back into the water and he administered the boy's medication. I wasn't too sure what it was, but within 3 to 4 minutes after the medication was administered, he finished the seizure. At that point, most of the pool had been cleared by my other fellow lifeguards and the public were being dealt with. We got the casualty into the side of the water and we did assisted lift, which was myself and the 2 carers, arms supporting their body, and lifted him up onto the side of the pool and slid him onto the side. When he was evacuated from the water, the other staff that were there, the other lifeguards, managed to get the casualty wrapped in towels and foil blankets to keep him warm, because by this point the casualty had gone into a deep sleep. So he was loud snoring. He wasn't unconscious, but this is quite common for folk if they suffer epilepsy or if they have a seizure. Looking back and thinking about my very first rescue, it was a bit of an eye-opener for myself. Going back, being fairly new into the job, new to lifeguarding, it's easy to get complacent when you aren't in charge of an area, if you aren't physically responsible for this sort of zone you've been issued with. Even changing positions, anything could happen within a swimming pool. I hope you've enjoyed this story. If you'd like to hear more about other rescue stories I've got a few for you. Just leave a bit of interaction with the video, a wee comment or like. It's greatly appreciated. Till then, take care, see you all soon.